Some people are naturally good at saving money. Others struggle with saving, and some people never save anything at all. This is probably a mistake, and if you're in those last two camps, you're going to need this video where I share some of the reasons why you can't save money so that you could take some of the reasons that apply to your own life and change your situation. Saving money will help you live a better life, a less stressful life, and I highly recommend it. So let's get into the video with the first reason why you can't save money, which is that you don't have an emergency fund. It is super hard to live your life with unexpected emergencies coming at you all the time and being unable to afford those. A lot of people turn to credit cards and get into a cycle of high interest debt that they can never pay off because they don't have an emergency fund. The very first thing you should do when you start taking your finances seriously is to save up an emergency fund in a high yield savings account so that you have the money available to you when you need it. When something comes around like an unexpected car expense, an emergency vet bill, things like that, you're able to pull from your emergency fund and pay for those without going into debt. When you get behind on those emergency expenses, it is so hard to get ahead. It is almost impossible for some people. Once you fall behind and get into that debt cycle, it's really hard to climb out, and that is one of the reasons why you probably can't save money right now. It's because you're stuck in that debt cycle. So the first thing you need to do is stop everything, save up a little pile of money for the expenses that come along, and then tackle the debt and move on. Probably sounds weird in a video about why you can't save money to have the first reason that you don't have money saved, but honestly, until you start saving some money and have that little fund to keep you out of debt and out of the cycle, you're not going to be able to save anything substantial. Another reason why a lot of people are not able to save any money is that your car costs too much. Car costs are a huge wealth killer in the United States because car payments have exploded over the years. People are paying so much money for their car every single month. Not only are they paying car payments of $700, $800, $1,000 per month for these cars, but you probably are paying a lot more in car insurance as well. When you have a nicer car that costs more money, it costs more money to insure that car. So along with your higher car payment, you're also paying higher car insurance payments. So that overall is already increasing your monthly expenditure on your car. When you are increasing this expense so much and it takes so much out of your budget, you're not able to save as much money. The trap of an expensive car payment is really real, and a lot of people are falling for it, and they're getting into these high payments. They're also falling behind on how much they owe on their car versus how much it's worth. So you're rolling over negative equity into new cars, and this is just a complete trap for so many people. So you're spending a lot on your car and you just can't save money because of it. Another reason why you might not be able to save money is because you're house poor. Unfortunately, housing costs have exploded, and it can be really hard to get an affordable housing situation with the income that you have. It is recommended that you keep your housing costs to 30% or less of your income for a month, but this can be really hard for people. If you are spending more on your rent or your mortgage payment than 30%, if you're spending 50, 60% of your income, then you are definitely house poor, and it's gonna be really hard for you to save money. This is something that you will have to figure out if you want to be able to save money. You can't have the majority of your income going toward your housing costs and then still live your life, afford groceries, pay all of your other bills, and save money on top of that. You just can't save money when you're spending so much of your income on your housing, so you have to find a way to reduce that in order to save. On a similar note, you might not be able to save money because you're living alone, but you can't afford it. Unfortunately, living alone these days is almost a luxury. It is a luxury for many people, and sometimes you can't afford that. If you want to save money, you might have to have a different situation where you're living with family, you're living with friends, you have roommates. You find a situation where you're living with other people because that will drastically reduce how much you're spending on housing. The reality is that if you are trying to live alone and your housing cost is over 30% of your income, if you're spending a lot on your housing, then you really need to make a change. Living alone is expensive because you are paying 100% of your housing expenses. When you're splitting that with a roommate or a partner or a family member, it can go down so much and give you a lot of breathing room, so you're able to save money every single month. Personally, I'm married, so I split my housing costs with my husband, but if I was single, I wouldn't be living alone. I know that expense is a lot more than I personally would want to handle with my income. so it's not something that I would let myself do, and that's the reality for a lot of people. So you might be living alone, but it's taking your money and stopping you from saving. Another reason why you might not be able to save money is because you just don't make enough money. Sometimes your income doesn't allow you to save. If your expenses just to live, to pay for housing, your car, your transportation, your food equal your income, you're not going to be able to save. Unfortunately, costs of living have risen in a lot of areas, and this has made it a lot harder to save money. Because your cost of living is so much higher, it's almost equal with those wages that you're getting from your job, so there's no money left over to save. Sometimes the reality is you need to make more money. You will not be able to save unless your income increases. If you make a low salary, it's not going to matter how many small things you cut out of your life. It's not going to matter that you reduce your phone bill by using Mint Mobile. It's not going to matter that you are able to save money by using Rocket Money and cutting subscriptions. It's not going to matter that you are not eating out. If you don't make enough money, you're not going to be able to afford the big things like housing costs. So you will never be able to save money unless you increase your income. Another reason why you probably don't save money is because you are not organized. When you have no budget, you have no idea when your bills are due, you have no idea where your money's going or what it's doing, you are not going to be able to save money because there'll never be enough money at the end of the month to put toward your savings. When you don't have a system in place for handling your finances and you don't know what's happening, your money is just going to flutter away to different things. It's going to be taken up and eaten away by late fees when you don't pay your bills on time. You need to be organized in order to save money. If your life is unorganized and chaotic, then you're going to be spending more money on things for convenience and trying to catch up on the things that you've missed. So you're not going to be able to save. So in order to get your savings up, you're going to want to make a budget, create a plan, have your system in place, and just be organized. This can help you save so much time and will help you start saving money. Another reason why you're probably not saving money right now is because you don't have a strong enough why. Honestly, saving money just to save money really doesn't work for most people. You have to have a clear reason why you're saving that money. Maybe it's so that you can go on an amazing vacation next year. Maybe it's so that you can put your kids through college so they don't have to take on debt. Maybe it's so that you can buy your first home. Having a reason and a clear picture of how it will change your life when that money is used is the reason why most people are able to actually save money. If you don't have a very defined reason why you're saving, you probably just won't ever get around to it because there's so many different ways your money could be used in the here and now. Saving money is for something that's delayed, and if there's not a clear vision of what that will mean in your life, you're just not going to do it. So having a strong reason why will help you save money. If you don't have a strong reason why right now, maybe think about the ways that money can change your life in the future, and that will help you save more. Another reason why you might not be saving money right now is because that addictions control your life. Unfortunately, addictions can be expensive. These are things like cigarettes, alcohol, binge eating, lottery tickets, all these things that cost a lot of money that are vices in your life and very addictive can be the reason why you're not saving money right now. And unfortunately, these are not always easy fixes. They involve psychology, they involve habits, they involve a lot more than just deciding one day, I'm gonna quit this. They involve a lot of work, a lot of mental work, and a lot of actual physical work as well, maybe putting boundaries on yourself. But these are the things that can often take away all of your extra money and leave you without savings. When your addictions are controlling you, it can be really hard to save money. It can be impossible, honestly. And it's also something that can lead people into debt. So if you want to save money, if you have a clear vision of why you need to save money and how it will change your life, this can help you maybe get a handle on your addictions or finally get help from someone else, from a professional, to do so. Once you do this, that addiction will no longer control your life and you'll be able to save money and build up savings that can eventually change your life and make it the one that you really, really want to be living. And the final reason why I think that people don't save money is one that is out of your control, but it's because you have bad luck. Sometimes if you think you're unlucky and you over the years realize, oh, these things keep happening to me, it might be you. But it also might just be a series of bad luck. Maybe you have an accident or medical emergency that leads you to lose your job, and then you can't get another job because you physically just can't work. Then you're on disability and you can't save money. that is something that happens to plenty of people. Here's the thing, a lot of us are closer to disability and homelessness than we are to being a billionaire. And once we accept that, we can understand that sometimes bad luck really is the reason why people can't save money. Things happen that are unexpected and out of our control beyond just the typical emergencies that an emergency fund would cover. So sometimes these are things that will happen in your life maybe once, maybe over and over again, that lead you to be unable to save money. And I don't want you to be too harsh on yourself if this is your situation right now, because it is real, it does happen, and unfortunately, sometimes it's out of your control. We all have to do the best we can with what we have and accept that sometimes life is out of our control and we just have to roll with what we get. Did any of these ring true with you? If they did and you have trouble saving money, it's okay, a lot of us do. But the great thing is that most of us can make adjustments and find ways to save money, to build that habit of saving, and to change our lives financially forever. If you need a little bit of help with saving money, definitely check out this next video.